Hello everyone. This is what we're going to make today using Adobe Illustrator. 8 really simple, quick and easy skills in Illustrator. So if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe and hit the like button, please. It helps me a lot. So let's get started. Okay, so let's create 8 symbols using the Adobe Illustrator real quick. So I created a new Illustrator document, the size of tabloid size 11 by 17 inches, landscape orientation. So first let me type a letter M, and then my typographic choice is impact because it is heavy and bold. And then I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Okay, and let me make more copies. 1, 2, Command D. So I have 4. And I have another 4 on the bottom, somewhere here. Okay. So I have 8 M's. For the last one, I'm going to change my typeface from impact to area round empty bold. Okay. So let me select everything. And then first, let's create outlines so we can work these letters as a graphic. Create outlines. Okay. So these are graphics now. I'm going to make it a little bit taller for the last one. So let's start from the first one. Okay. So first the thing is, it's a 3D effect. So I'm going to draw a rectangle right next to it. Same height of this M. And kind of a same thickness or a little bit thinner. Okay. Then now choose Free Transform Tool. If you do not see this, it is under go to a Windows menu and make sure you open Advanced Toolbars, not the basic one. Okay. So once you choose the Free Transform, let me choose the Perspective Distort. And then click on the top left corner and drag it down. Okay. And this letter M, same thing. Free Transform, Perspective Distort, and do something like this. I want to make this one a little bit narrower. So it's a kind of a fake 3D effect. You can make it a little bit closer or a little further. It's up to you. So number 1 is done. Number 2, reflect and then a shadow effect. So choose that. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. So select your letter, and then in your toolbox, keep pressing your rotate tool. You're going to see the reflect tool, the second option, and then place your mouse cursor on the bottom, the baseline of your letter M. Hold down the option. You see that 3 dots or 4 dots right next to the mouse cursor, and click. We're going to flip it using the other horizontal axis, and do not click on OK. Click on copy. So we have 2. Now on top of that, this reflected one is selected. In your toolbox, choose your reflector again. And I'm sorry. Choose your regular rectangle drawing tool. Draw a box on top of your bottom M, just like that, slightly bigger. Okay, so it covers. Then your foreground color is black now. Choose the black and white gradient, like this, and no stroke. Then now choose your gradient tool from your toolbox. Change the direction from white to black, from top to bottom. So I'm going to place my mouse cursor a little bit over this rectangle and hold down the shift key and drag it down, maybe somewhere like this. And then I'm going to move this to control the range of a white. Okay, it's okay. Now deselect. Now select the gradient box on top and then the letter M behind. These two together. Now open Transparency panel. If you do not see this, it is under Windows menu and Transparency here. Then click on this, the hamburger button, drop down menu option, and choose Make Opacity Mask. See? Now I'm going to change the opacity value a little bit more transparent, like a 70%. Okay, so it's a kind of reflection. And addition to that, let me choose this again. I'm going to choose this time under scale tool, you will see the shear tool. Choose one of the anchor point on the bottom right corner, hold down the shift key, and keep pressing your mouse button and drag it, just like that. Okay, now selection tool, I'm going to move it, I'm going to match. I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, like that. So it's a shadow, fading out. I may want to make this opacity value even lighter. Okay. Right. So number 2 is done. Number 3, slicing. The first thing is select your rectangle tool, black fill, no stroke. I'm gonna draw kind of little skinny rectangle overlapping on the corner on the right side, something like this, just this much. Now open Pathfinder. In your Pathfinder, the second row, Pathfinder option, the very first choice, the divide. Click on it. Nothing's happening, but something happened already. Now go to Object menu, ungroup it, deselect. Now select that piece, delete it. See that? We have 2 pieces now. Okay. Now choose that the little tiny piece, like a slice. And now go to Object menu, envelope distort, make with mesh. I'm going to choose the 1 rows and 1 columns only. It's going to be a really simple one. Say OK. Let me zoom in a little more. Now choose your direct selection to this white arrow and just to choose top 2 anchor points. So select the one, hold down the shift key, select another one. So you see that those top 2 anchor points are filled and others empty. Now keep pressing and drag it. Just like this. And you will see the this handler. I'm gonna move this handler just like that. And this one too. So it is like a slicing, because slicing the cheese or something. Okay. Now, number 4. So another slicing, but it is more like a chopping. You may imagine the early app games like Fruit Ninja things. So let's do this. Select your letter M. Now choose, you don't have to, your line tool and set your stroke color black no fill. I'm going to draw one single line like this. Maybe somewhere like this. Okay. Now select everything. Your letter M and then one stroke straight line. Open your Pathfinder and choose again divide. Now ungroup it. Once you apply the any Pathfinder option, it will group everything. So I need to ungroup it already all the time. And ungroup it. Deselect. Let me use my arrow key on my keyboard. I'm going to move to the right a little bit. Maybe one more. And down. And I want to rotate a little more. So choose your rotate tool again. Double click. Let me rotate just -1 degree. So slightly tilted. Okay. Maybe a little further. So it's a kind of sliced like this. Okay. Now, number 5. Let me draw one really simple line using pen tool. I'm going to draw maybe a really simple arc, just like that. And no fill, just a black stroke. And then open your brushes panel and then please open brush library, artistic, and paintbrush. Choose that. So there are more options. This time I'm gonna choose, this one. Okay. And then let me change my stroke color to gray, something like this. And I'm going to overlay on top of my letter M, which is okay, but let me increase my stroke weight a little bit. Maybe that's too much. 1.5. Okay. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. And by using my direct selection tool, I can still change my line shape like that. Okay. Now, select your line with your brush stroke like this. Go to Object menu, Expand Appearance. Okay. Now select everything. Choose again Pathfinder and Divide. As we did. Object, ungroup it, deselect. Let me zoom in. I'm gonna delete all this. Let me delete that little triangle, this, that, that one, this piece, and this piece. Oh no, not this one, this one. Let me zoom in. And this one. And there's one more. Okay. So kind of a paintbrush stroke on the letter M. So maybe possibly if I design some kind of a logos or a symbol for art studios, or there's something related to art, painting, I may use that. Okay, the next. So kind of similar to that. Let's try this. First, I'm gonna draw one really skinny oval, slightly wider than my letter M, like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna set to black. Oops. Black fill, no stroke. And then let me zoom in a lot. Choose your direct selection tool, select the anchor point on the left, and then you see the really short two blue handlers. Get rid of it, push it into the anchor point. There. And the other side, I will do the same thing. Okay. Let me zoom out. Once you have that, open your brushes panel, then select your brush, this shape, and drag it and drop into your brushes panel. You will see that green circle plus sign. Then choose art brush. Okay. And okay. And now I can delete it. What I'm gonna do is, let me draw one straight line. No fill, just a black stroke. Let me draw the horizontal line like this, a little bit wider, longer than the width of this letter M. And then let me choose my plus pen tool, add anchor point tool in the middle of this line. Then now switch your tool to anchor point tool. Then make kind of a really simple wave line. Then apply this. Okay. Then you may want to make it a little bit thicker. I'm gonna make it a little bit. Okay, looks good. And let me place it on top, maybe somewhere here in the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to expand this line as a shape. Under Object menu, choose Expand Appearance. Okay. Now select everything. We can do the divide. Easier way is go to Pathfinder again and minus front. And object, ungroup it. Let me switch the color on top from black to light gray. Maybe something like this. Oops, no fill. So gray fill, no stroke. So we got another one. Okay. Now, number 7. Kind of similar to that, but it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So let's do this. What I'm going to do is, first I'm going to draw, let me set my fill color to black, no stroke color. Let me draw a really skinny rectangle, like that. About that. Let me zoom in. And then this rectangle has the 4 anchor points. Let me choose this time minus pen tool, delete anchor point, and delete 1 anchor point on the bottom right corner. It's a kind of a really sharp triangle. And then choose your direct selection tool, select the anchor point, and I'm gonna center it. See, you see the pink guideline, so it is centered. Okay, now select this, hold down the option, meaning we're making copies, keep pressing your mouse button and shift and drag it, leave about this much space. Okay, let me zoom out. Now, still the second copy is selected. Hold down the command key and D. We have multiple copies like this. So this whole height supposed to be taller than your letter M. Now select all these lines, shapes, group them, object, and group. Okay, now go to Effect menu, Warp, and choose Flag. You can control the amount of distortion. Maybe not too much, maybe something like this. And OK. Then also go to Object menu again and expand it. Now I'm going to overlay on top of my letter M like this. A little bit. Okay. So we're almost there. Select everything. Open Pathfinder, minus front. See? Isn't it cool? So you can create any type of pattern lines and you can apply on top of that. Just like this. Now the last. I chose the different typeface because we're going to make it kind of a little bit something splitting or melting effect. So it's pretty easy to do. Choose your, the first thing, I want to extend this stroke a little bit longer on right. So choose your direct selection tool. Select the anchor point on this bottom right. Excuse me. So there are 5 anchor points are selected. And then choose one of them, keep pressing, hold down the shift, and extend it. Just like this. Select your letter M. I'm gonna zoom in. Now, in your toolbox, choose Warp tool. There are a lot of choices, but I'm gonna choose just the Warp tool. And then try this. You can control the size of your Warp tool by double-clicking. And you can change it. Now watch. I keep pressing my mouse button and drag it into the shape. See that? There's a distortion. I will do more here. And maybe a little more. Maybe a little more. Until you have the shape you're looking for. Okay. Maybe a little more here. Okay. So something's kind of melting, or something kind of sticky liquid, like bleeding or anything. Okay. So we have made 8 different simple symbols using very simple techniques in Adobe Illustrator. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this video is helpful. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.